Hello friends, before we get started, I know some of y'all are here just for the sketchbook tour, so I just want to let y'all know that I do have some announcements for this channel after the sketchbook tour. But with that out of the way, let's get going. So I know I have a plethora of videos on my channel, but I'm here again with another sketchbook tour since y'all really seem to like the last one. Thank you for all of the support on it. I got this question a lot in the last one, so the sketchbook that I'm using is a crescent rendered no-show through sketchbook. I started it backwards and upside down, but let's go. This is a sticker that my good friend Miles did. I'll put their name on the screen right here on Instagram so you can go support them. I started in late August, early September, I don't remember, I think it was September. And then I ended it January 31st, 2021. So starting off, I was very excited about Halloween, right? So you notice a lot of Halloween illustrations. So this is my character Maxwell, and he's dressed up as a little wizard or witch or whatever. It says, "Welcome to my book." I got this little plushie thing at a Goodwill, and I figured out it was a Boo the Dog plushie. And it was a little vampire one, and I loved him so much, so, you know, I drew him, and he looks so cute. And this was a commission that I did for someone, and I really, really like it. This sketchbook, I really just wanted to, you know, draw my characters more, have it a little bit more self-indulgent, because my next sketchbook is going to be in preparation for applying to CalArts. So, although I did want it to be more self-indulgent, I did do some studies throughout it, and this was some studies from when I was at a restaurant. Except for this is a YouTuber that I watch. I drew it really badly though, so if you can guess who that is, I'll give you a star. This was another little Halloween thing. And here were some shoes, because I just wanted to draw shoes. This is whenever Among Us was being popular, and I drew my little Among Us character, and I drew an illustration of my Among Us character here. I actually have the color black, but whenever I draw black, I put a lot of blues and greens in, so it looks like the color's blue, but it's black. On this page is Garfield. Then on this page, it was a collab that I had done, and it was where a bunch of artists got together and redrew the Garfield Halloween special. I don't remember what year, but this was my panel. This whole page is just doodles of my character Dog Detective, or Barney Duggars, and that's all there is to say about it. I really like this page though. Here I was trying to redesign my persona. I didn't know if I wanted him to be an angel, but then I was like, oh, well these kind of look like dog ears, so I think I'm gonna make him a dog. And so I decided on making him, give him little dog ears, because I like dogs, and I've been compared to a dog multiple times, because I guess I'm easily excitable, and I like head scratches and sticking my head out of the car window. The ink on the markers that I use is very reflective on these pages. That's the one thing I don't like about this sketchbook. Anyway. And that's another frequently asked question. I mostly used Ohuhu markers for this. Towards the end of the sketchbook I got some Copics, but nah. So these were some Halloween illustrations that I did. I wanted this one to be like a mock movie poster, and this one was going to be the same, but then I never finished it, so I just kind of did some black paint and made it look kind of, you know, early 2000s-ish, and I think it fits the vibe, you know, because this was supposed to be scene themed. So it says Vampire by Night, Schoolgirl by Day. This was a vent thing that I had done because I was very stressed about college, and I still kind of am, but like I said, I'm going to try and aim for CalArts, and I'm going to take a gap year. So if any of you guys have any tips on like portfolios, especially for CalArts, I would really appreciate that, because that is the one part I'm really stressing out over. Oh, I skipped a page. This was just some doodles that I had done when I was on an art block, so I drew some teeth down here and up here, some more teeth, flowers, and a little gal. I kind of messed up here, that's why I did all the red lines to kind of make it blend in a little bit better. But, you know, mistakes are, that's what a sketchbook's for, learning. This was a little raccoon in space. I don't know why I made him, I just thought it'd be really cute to have a raccoon in space. I got into the hospital for cat scratch fever, and I still have the scar on my hand, and I just did some little doodles on some receipts that I found in my purse. Here's some more Dog Detective down here. So, I really love clowns, and by the way, this is painted over. I had a drawing of myself under here, but I didn't like it, so. I really like clowns, and so this is one clown little statue. And then I drew some Beanie Babies. And I got this Beanie Baby calendar, so I got a bunch of Beanie Baby stickers. So these are some muscle studies. I did most of these on Pinterest, so if you see anything like this on Pinterest, then that's what I referenced. I put a little piece of plastic over here so that way I could take note of the main muscles that, you know, simplified the muscles so that way I could get a better understanding of them. But you can flip it under and see all the tendons and stuff. And these probably aren't all that accurate, you know. So this is just some little spiel about how I like drawing noses, because I think that noses are really neat. I like looking at people's noses. I don't know why. I just think they're the neatest part of the face. So I drew a bunch of noses. My mom got mad at me for not drawing her nose, but this is whenever the sketchbook started getting more self-indulgent, and so I drew this little guy. I think he, she, they, I think they look really cool. Here's a little cat, and here's some more cats, and I really, really love the way I set this page up. This is one of my favorite pages. This is another one of my favorite pages. This was a little gift for a friend on Instagram. I'll put their username up here as well. And then there's a drawing of my persona. This wasn't supposed to be all bloody or anything, but I messed up on the mouth area, and so I was like, you know what I gotta do? I gotta cover it up. And how am I gonna cover it up? I'm just gonna make it edgy as hell. So this was whenever I first got Copics. This was colored with Ohuhus, but this was colored with Copics. So this was another persona drawing. Like I said, this has got really self-indulgent here, so you'll see a few persona drawings, but here are two of my OCs. This one's Beelzebub and this one's Patch. And Patch is an idiot, and Beelzebub is the emperor of the world that most of my OCs live in. I have this story called Glass Fjord, and yeah, it's a whole thing. You can DM me on Instagram if you want to know more about it, I guess. And here is just a little, tiny little mini comic of Patch dropping a cake and it being set on fire. But anyway, I drew this because around Christmas time, they turned 2 years old, because I had made them about 2 years ago. And here it is Christmas. We actually didn't do a tree this year, so I just drew one to make up for it. And here's my OC. And down here it just says, all I want for Christmas is you, the ability to feel sentient and in control of my body, because I was kind of going through a bit of a dissociation spell. Or a depersonalization spell. I always get the two confused. And this was a vent drawing about that. But here was my New Year's drawing, and it is my persona as 2021 about to murder 2020. Fun fact, on New Year's, I threw up in my bed. These were just some, I guess, just some semi-realism drawings of some people on Pinterest. I'm really proud of the chokers here. One thing I wish I had done was I wish I had started off with a lighter color on their skin, so that way I could add some darker values in and have a little bit more contrast. And this one I just didn't finish. These were both with Ohuhus because I had actually gone back and colored this one. Here's my dog Sissy. I don't know why I draw her so much in my sketchbooks, because she is the most hyper of my dogs, but I don't know, she's got a funny looking face, funny looking body, so she's good to draw. These aren't the best drawings I've done of her, but it's practice. And I went to visit my aunt for a funeral, and I drew her pit bull. And I think I captured the pit bull's likeness really well. I'm really proud of all these. I love pit bulls. While I was at my aunt's house, I also drew my aloe vera drink. It is my favorite drink ever. You should try them if you don't. Here's my inhaler. Here's a Betty Boop music box that I have on my desk. Here's Jinx again. You saw him in my last video, I believe. I could be wrong, but he's a part of the Glass Fjord comic. And then here is another OC who is not a part of Jinx's universe or Beelzebub's universe or any of their universes. He's just an OC I like to draw, and his name's Pina. And I drew these on a live stream, so that's why they're a little bit strange. This page is kind of boring. I just taped this in here so that way it would be a little bit more interesting. This was from an Etsy shop that I had gotten a patch from. But I just drew some Pegasi while I was watching BoJack Horseman. Here is whenever I officially got Copics, and so from here on out, everything that I've drawn will probably have been with Copics. And here's just some sketches that I did. That one's done with a shiny pen. This is one of my favorite drawings so far. It is of my character Pepper from the Glass Fjord story, and she is exploring a haunted house, I like to imagine. And then here's some little clowns that I drew because, again, I love clowns. Here's my other dog, Odie. I just drew him as like a little vampire because every time that I go to let Odie inside from the backyard, he doesn't come in until I tell him, "Come on in, Odie, you can come in." So I think he's a vampire. Here's a skull that I drew, no reference to anything, so this isn't an actual animal skull. I like to imagine that it's this animal's skull, but I was also listening to the band Mommy Long Legs while I drew this, so I drew the spider there. This is my favorite page in the sketchbook, and it is a favorite of literally everybody who opens a sketchbook, and I'm really glad because I spent forever on this. But a sad story about this. So, I had drawn these using an anatomy book that I was gifted for Christmas because, you know, I like anatomy stuff. And, with the black ink, I noticed that black ink is always very sticky, and I didn't want the pages sticking together and ruining the, you know, drawings on either side, so I tried to do it with Mod Podge, but then the black ink smeared a little bit, so on this side, a lot of the details that I drawn aren't as crisp, so it was a little sad, but it's okay because I still think it looks good, and it didn't bother it that much. It's just mostly a me thing, you know? And I drew some teeth down here. This is my papa, and he was just sitting there listening while I was at his house, and I drew him. Here is a hallway. This page I had made after I'd come back from my school's counselor talking to her about college. I was feeling very, very upset and scared for college before here, but you know, after I talked to my counselor about some stuff, I was feeling really hopeful, so I just drew this little character, and I thought he was fun looking. I based him off of a flower, and because I just wanted to let myself know that I do indeed feel hopeful, and I wanted a character to accompany that, but the thing is, I actually enjoyed the character so much that my mom's calling me. Anyway, I actually enjoyed the character so much that I decided to make him into an actual character. His name's Kelly. He lives in a post-apocalyptic world, and he is an unsuccessful comedian, but he is still an optimist nonetheless. I had a lot of trouble trying to figure out his colors here. So, you know, these were the original colors, and I was like, well, that's, you know, too light right here, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, well, maybe I can try this, and I was like, well, the orange still looks weird, so I tried a bunch more, and I thought I liked this one, but I don't like it, but I ended up making a walk cycle with him, and, I did a little bit of a digital coloring, and I found out some colors that I actually liked, and I'll put that walk cycle up on the screen.
Woohoo, yeah, look at him walking. Oh yeah, he's walking.
This was a doodle I did of him that my sister's daughter colored because they got a hold of my sketchbook. And so for a pilot episode, because I was like, oh, well, I'd like to make Kelly's little story into a show one day. And I was like, well, wouldn't it be neat for like a pilot episode or like some sort of episode or short or something, to be where Kelly is afraid of clowns and he meets this little clown monster and he has to kind of face his fears, I guess. I don't know. So I drew a bunch of clown faces in preparation for that, also because I like clowns. And then on the next page, I drew the little clown monster. But yeah, here's the little clown monster. Some warm-up doodles of myself because I'm vain. And then here's my character Fenrir. Fenrir is kind of like me in the fact that he is he's a lot more extroverted than me, but the thing is that whenever his social battery runs out, it runs out, and you know, if someone keeps bothering him, he's gonna just be depressed. Anyway, but he is one of the main characters along with Jinx in Glass Fjord. Here's some more drawings of Sissy. These are kind of bad because she kept moving her head to look at me for some reason, and so you get really awkward things like this because I don't know, it's really loose, but and this one's funny to me. Anyway, here's one of my favorite drawings actually, despite it being really simple. I'm really proud of the coloring being so clean, I guess. Anyway, here is Damien. He is Jinx's next door neighbor, and he oftentimes finds himself within Jinx's house. Because he's a creep. So I just did a little mini comic, except for I used 2 full whole pages. 3 full whole pages if you count the last page. Anyway. This point, like I said, my cousin's daughters had gotten a hold of my sketchbook. I let them, but you know. So I was at my grandparents' house and they were there and I let them draw my sketchbook. So if you see any drawings like this, you'll know who drew it. It wasn't me. I like these shoes though. Oh, speaking of shoes, I actually like those shoes so much that I was like, oh, let me draw some more shoes. So these are my boots. Those are some other shoes. This is my Granny Papa's dog. They have a lot of dogs, but this is one of them. And this was my cousin. I don't think my cousin's watching this, but if you are watching this, I drew you while you were sitting down. Here's a juicy ass. Anyway, I did some quick gesture drawings as a warm-up. That's why they're so bad, because I usually don't say that my artwork is bad, but these are pretty bad, technically speaking. But they were just warm-ups, and they took 1 to 2 minutes, and I'm not used to doing gesture drawings, but that's why I did them in general. And then here's a 5-minute one, so it's a little bit more rendered. Some children's drawings. Here are some more gesture drawings. These were all about 30 seconds each. That's why they're so tiny. Some of them have pena and booby. So again, if you like these drawings, you're a homosexual. I really do like this page, and I'm thinking about maybe putting it in my portfolio, but I don't know. If anybody has done a CalArts portfolio, let me know if this would be a good page to put in there. Anyway. Then I drew some bats because I couldn't figure out what to do with these last few pages because I've had this sketchbook since like September. So I was getting really tired of it. So I was like, let me just draw whatever comes to mind. So I drew some Walston tube-nosed bats and then some brown long-eared bats. They are so cute. They're my favorites. So here's little batties. Here's an ice cream place near me. I didn't put the label because I made this too short. And then here is my persona saying, I'm tired of the sketchbook. Goodbye. More children's drawings. So, now for the channel announcement. So, you know, in my last video I stated that I did want to make, you know, more art-related videos, but I realized that I don't have a way to record them unless I'm sitting on the floor right here. So, considering I do greatly appreciate my back and the good condition that it's in, I probably won't be doing that many, but I don't know. I've been known to abuse my health before, so maybe I will do some more videos, but you know, I also found out that whenever I record myself drawing, I get very stressed for some reason. So, I have recorded a few videos that I was gonna post, but then I was like, these are just me getting mad and having a breakdown, so I'm gonna have to get used to recording videos while I draw, and also, like I said, I am going to take a gap year, but during that gap year, I'm going to try and make a few sketchbooks for CalArts, as well as a bunch of stuff to beef up my portfolio. So if I'm also not on this channel or my other channel as much, it is because I am working on getting my stuff ready for college. If you want to see more of my work and like more stuff pertaining to my characters, you can go to my Instagram account at AlterMayArt, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would commission me, or I might set up a Cash App soon or something like that, so that way I can, if anybody wants to donate out of the goodness of their heart, they can help me pay for my college, because it will be expensive considering I do live in Alabama and California is on the opposite coast to which I live, and not to mention CalArts is incredibly expensive. But speaking of CalArts, if anybody does have any tips on portfolios or sketchbooks or introduction videos or anything like that, I'd really appreciate it if you would leave it in the comments below. That is all, I believe. thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. When that happens. Whenever that happens. Alright, bye!